right, what's up? What's good? Wolf's here with it's kind of a fun but also very nerve-wracking Let's Talk. So, here's what we're gonna do. In this, I wanted to do a video of just exclusives exclusively to the boxes of Xbox One, PlayStation 4 for the past like 10 years that these consoles been out, damn near 10 years that everything's been out. But I kind of realized that sorry, I was just making sure the microphone was on. I kind of realized that Xbox One, like all their games are on PC. So I'm like, that box doesn't have anything that's technically like exclusive. You can only play it on this box. Everything is on PC. So there's also two games on PS4 that are on PC also. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna break my rule of just the boxes. I will say anything that started on Xbox, and even if it is on PC, but if it started on Xbox or started on PlayStation, we'll put it on the list. So I have two lists in front of me right now with games that I have played through and mostly beat or completed or whatever over these past damn near 10 years, and of this past console generation of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, whether it be Xbox One S or X or PS4, PS4 Pro. So we're going to eliminate these lists down to top 5 of the last generation. And the reason why I'm doing it now is because I consider like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be basically a next gen title. PlayStation 5 and the Series X is right around the corner. Of course, I'm not the biggest fan of the Series X, so I'm probably going to be skipping that, just sticking with PC. I'll still play the Xbox exclusives because they're all coming on the PC anyways. So I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll just go PC, be able to mod them and such. But PS5, definitely, I will absolutely be hands-on with that as soon as I can possibly get it's in my possession. And yeah, I can't wait to check out the controller, the haptics, all that good stuff. Anyways, so I mean, like I said, the Xbox is going more like modding and PC based with Game Pass, and then PlayStation is going for innovation and really trying to create something new in the technology that you're using and all that. So two different companies, but the past like console generation has been pretty similar, and so there's been a lot of wars going on with the fans back and forth and everything. Anyways, let's get into this top 5. So we are going to start off with, I think we'll start off with top 5. Ooh, this is hard. Oh, this is going to be so hard. Okay, Xbox, I can already see some games I can drop out of my top 5 because I really kind of didn't like them so much. And I think we're going to trim off the fat first. Crackdown 3 is going away. It was touted to use the what was it, the Azure AI technology to do world building and everything. That never really worked. Other than I think maybe the multiplayer part or something, but the actual single player game of it, there was no. They had to downgrade it and back off from it just to get the game out for Xbox One. In all honesty, Crackdown 3 should probably came out in next gen, but next gen was too far off, and that game had already a deadline. So there was a reason why it came out the way it did, but it just got very repetitive. So I see 3 games that were very repetitive, and I kind of got bored of. So we'll start off with Sea of Thieves. Sorry, Sea of Thieves. It was all right to play with friends, but just the fact that I was kind of hoping it would be kind of like maybe a cartoony version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I wouldn't take it so serious, and then it just ended up being really just kind of tedious and granted, I haven't played it in like the last like year or so, however long it's been out. I just really lost interest in it. The game graphics looked all right for it being, the art style that it was and everything. The water looked amazing. That was like my biggest compliment for it was like the water looks great. Sea of Thieves, we're gonna cut that one out of the lineup. Up next, I think Fallout Shelter should probably get cut also. Like Fallout Shelter, I had I had some fun with Fallout Shelter. Sorry, you can't even see. You can't even see. All right, we'll bring this list over here. But yeah, Fallout Shelter. I had a lot of fun with it on the mobile, and then it came over to Xbox for some reason. I was like, okay, I'll check it out on Xbox. Got some achievements on it and everything. I technically played this game like 3 times over again. There's no really finish to Fallout Shelter, but I did get pretty far in the Xbox version. I would still rather play it on mobile. It was all right. Not anything overly special though. Let's see here. Forza Horizon Fast and Furious. Now, this was probably one of those games that I had out of all the Forza games, I probably had the most fun with. Just driving the cars from the movies and everything. Pretty cool. I like all the little references that they had in there. It was very short though, and it's still Forza. Like, I don't know. I never thought Forza or GT handled it especially well. I've always said that, like the sim racing games, those two are just like, I'd rather play like a Need for Speed. So as much fun as Forza Horizon Fast and Furious was, I think that's getting taken off the list also for top 5. And again, like this is not review, this is just personal opinion, basically. State of Decay. I did play these with friends. Still repetitive on both sides. I did have fun in the beginning, and then after a while, it was just like, okay, I've been doing this for a couple hours. I'm kind of just bored and done with it. So I think we're gonna drop both State of Decay 1 and 2 off from the list. Also, plus also State of Decay 2, like the marketing on that was or State of Decay 3, excuse me. State of Decay 3's trailer, it's just like you're putting a CGI trailer out. We know it's not gonna look anything like that. It's just this little arcade, kind of shoot 'em up, build your settlement up and survival tactics type of stuff. It's not my cup of tea, so we're taking those off the list. Now we're getting into the thick of things here. By just that much, I think Gears 4 gets dropped off the list. I think Gears 4 gets dropped off the list. Before Gears 5 came out, I revisited it and I'm like, yeah, this is all right. But the ending, there was like no ending. It was just that cliffhanger ending that led into Gears 5. Now, Gears 5 really blew me away. I think that's probably going to stay on the list. Gears 5 is kind of a lock-in. Really just this, epic way of pushing the storyline forward and everything. They did a pretty damn decent job of just keeping the characters in there, introducing some new characters, factions, and at the same time, the multiplayer, not the greatest. I don't care for horde mode. Well, is it a lock-in? Because I don't care for horde mode and I don't care for the multiplayer, I'm just thinking about single player. That's the only thing that really kept my that's the reason why I got Game Pass literally for the month, just to check out Gears 5 story mode. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done. I mean, they had Batista in there. The wrestling fan to me is like, hey, that's kind of cool. That's, and of course, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is nostalgia written all over it. Boy, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm like thinking, like, okay, Ori 1 and 2, really liked them. Love the art style. The music, the story is pretty damn good. It's that old platforming type of gameplay. I don't want to drop them, but I'm seeing like, ooh, man, I think I'm gonna drop Halo. I know Halo is like a giant collection of a lot of like really good games. Kind of like these two are more in my style, like personal style is more Gears than the Halo thing. I never, which is funny because I say that, but then my favorite thing ever is Mass Effect. But Mass Effect did what Halo did, and I just feel Mass Effect did 10 times better than Halo. It's just personal opinion on that. But the amount of bugs and issues that the Halo Master Chief Collection has had, and it runs so much better on PC. I think I'm going to cut it out of the Xbox One lineup here. It was a good bang for your buck. You had a lot of games in that collection. I definitely that was a pre-order on my part and everything for Halo Master Chief Collection. It was just, I don't think it landed the way that they wanted it to, and Halo 5 is really hurting the overall kind of thing of it too. And or Halo Infinite, Halo 5 definitely hurt the overall series, but Halo Infinite also is kind of like, ooh, they need to bring back their fan base a lot more. So we got what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to drop. Ooh, need to drop a few more. Again, Gears has nostalgia. Gears 5 was overall, I think, it was better than Gears 4. It's just, more hardware, more stuff that they could do with it. Gears 5 Ultimate Edition, though, on absolute must-try checkout for anybody playing on the Xbox. But I think I'm going to keep Gears 5. I actually kind of like Gears 5 more than I did the first one. I was surprised how much I like Gears 5. For anybody who's thinking I'm a PlayStation fanboy, well, there you have it. I actually really enjoy Gears 5. I kind of want to go back on the PC and play it again. Ori 1, 2. Man. They're just as good as one another. At the same time, I never finished them, but I always wanted to. It was just so many other games came out around when these two came out. They are great, though. I will 100% say, like, they remind me kind of like Rayman, in a way of like the, like second, third Rayman games where you had a lot of the side scrolling, also like Gex and, like all the old. Ori feels like a PlayStation game. It does not feel like an Xbox game. It feels like a PlayStation game to me. And they were great overall. I'm gonna have, as much as I hate to do, I'm about to cut those. I think that's gonna be my top 5 right there. Typical, typical action gamey type of. We got one fighting game. Killer Instinct was an absolute lock in. That sold me on the Xbox One to originally pick it up and check it out and everything. Absolutely loved it. Same thing with Titanfall. Those were 2 games. I mean, maybe they're nostalgia just because they were literally the first 2 games I played on the next gen at the time for the Xbox One. And Titanfall was amazing. It as soon as I played Titanfall, I was like, man, I wish Call of Duty was doing some of this stuff. With the wall running and everything else. And then Call of Duty did do that, and the whole Call of Duty fan base started complaining about it. Killer Instinct, my God, that brought me back into fighting games. It literally put me on a track. Killer Instinct was a huge one. A huge one. There's a reason why the first ever live stream I ever did was, first ever full live stream, I should say, from a computer, with OBS setup and everything, was Killer Instinct with the camera on and all that. The reason behind it is because KI really, it set me on a track of, I was just checking it out because it was something that was cool and free on the Xbox One. And I'm like, yeah, it's a fighting game. I've been wanting to check out fighting games. I had that old, I used to play fighting games back on the Sega and stuff, way back. And it was like, I want to finally get back into, after playing years of competitive Call of Duty and everything, in different, teams and all that. And I was just like, you know what? I want to get back into, fighting games before I even knew what the FGC was or anything. So KI literally, like, I started making videos on it, and I learned how to make, edit videos and live stream and everything because of Killer Instinct. And that also pushed me into the whole realm of Twitch streaming and doing all this, like Mortal Kombat and all that on YouTube and everything of playing online and all that. It really, like, I was so nervous. I remember being so nervous, just trying to go online in Killer Instinct, and then going back to the Xbox 360 and picking up Mortal Kombat 9, and then trying to go online with that, just being a nervous wreck for the first probably 3 or 4 months before finally being like, oh, okay, if I do this, if I do that, I can get, and get everything going. So Killer Instinct was just like, for a lot of people, it was very influential. Anyways, Quantum Break, that one was, it's one of those games that they did something very different with it, with adding the TV show in with the game, and I love seeing something like that happen, where it's like you're watching the TV. It just harpens back to way back when I was a little kid of, I watch a movie or I'd see a TV show like the Power Rangers or whatever. And it's like, we had no fighting games with Power Rangers. And it's just like, you want to live in that world. You want to be the superhero. Watching The Matrix, like I wanted to be Neo, or at least be in that world, being able to, dodge bullets and everything. So Quantum Break was like, okay, I'm watching a TV show, getting into this TV show. I can actually sit here and play this game also and be inside that world and interact with it. Awesome game Quantum Break was. Rise Son of Rome, that one really, it was in the same era timeline as Titanfall and Killer Instinct. It was a launch title for Xbox One, which is ironic enough. This list is a lot of launch titles for Xbox One. That is really sticking with me on this list. Just on the fact, I did do a lot of competitive gaming on the Xbox One, but there was also a lot of like, that was basically the Xbox One's life cycle, just competitive games. Forza, Halo. And then you had the games that were just like on everything. So it was like, for me, it's like a lot of wrestling games and fighting games, over probably the second half of the console lifespan. But for there being so much hate against the initial launch of the Xbox One, you got 3 solid titles that really sold the console. So that's not bad. So Rise Son of Rome was really like one of those, oh, this is next gen. It looked next gen. It felt next gen. It felt like, for the time, it felt very, very cool and just innovative and different. So Gears 5 is probably the last game on the Xbox One that I've played where I was just like, whoa, this has actually got my attention. I'm fully engaged. I want to see what's going to happen next and everything. I played the Sea of Thieves. I've played the State of Decays and everything. I've checked out some, the exclusives that are in Game Pass and everything. Nothing has really, hunkered me into the game like Gears 5 did. Even Halo, when I've been playing I played through Halo Reach, I'm like, this is all right. I don't see what the hell everybody's so hyped up about it. Halo Reach is good. It's not, I don't think it's great. I think it's pretty good. I would give it a solid probably 8 out of 10. I know some people would give it like a 12 out of 10, but again, this is just personal review. I think Gears is cooler than Halo. I always have. But on top of that, I always thought Call of Duty was cooler than both. So, for whatever that's worth. But yeah, Gears 5 blew me away. Just the environments that you're going through, the graphics on the game. It is also going into being a next gen title for a release title for Series X and showing off the hardware and everything. So, overall, I've had a few good matches on Gears 5 multiplayer. Probably some of the most fun I've had on multiplayer was in Gears 5, although I've also had the points of like, I really don't care for this. Like after maybe like 20 minutes of Gears multiplayer, I'm always like, I just don't care. It's like just nothing but shotguns and wall bouncing. Not my style. But the Terminator stuff, Batista being in there for Marcus, it was interesting to see, Batista wanted to play Marcus in the Gears movie. So anyways, so that's the Xbox top 5. Now we get into the big boy says. PlayStation top 5. Now this one's gonna be hard. This is gonna be tough. I see 2 games. Days Gone was so good. Death Stranding was really good. Horizon, I have not finished Horizon, so I kind of have to take it off the list. Knack and Horizon are damn good, but I kind of have to take them off the list because I haven't finished them. Time constraints. I do really love Horizon though. Horizon has the full package. Knack is like it's Ori, and they're both really great. You know, like I said, Ori could be a PlayStation game. Knack could be an Xbox game. It's really, you know, they have the fundamentals of both systems etched in there. Horizon Zero Dawn, again, like just the one hell of adventure. The main character is great. The story's great. The graphics are great. I gotta take them off the list though. All right, so the next one, I think God of War 3, just because God of War is so damn good. I think we're gonna have to take God of War 3 off the list. I loved God of War 3 also. There's a full stream of it. I had a lot of fun with it. GT Sport. Oh man. Nathan Drake collection. Fuck me. Okay. The Last of Us Part 1. The epic. It just hurts taking it off the list. It is a remaster, but also Last of Us Part 2, I feel, is actually the better game. It does everything The Last of Us 1 does, and then just flips you upside down and puts you on. It's just, what the wow. Just such great storytelling. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. If it gets the response like that, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. That's the thing. That's the point of it. Until Dawn is kind of what, like, I loved, like, Until Dawn is one of the games that really made me pay attention to the PS4 and made me go, I think I might need to get this system. And it was really an influential title that really pushed me over to like, whoa, it's something different. It was storytelling. It wasn't just Forza Horizon, Forza, Halo, Gears. It wasn't that. It was something very different, and it used the controller and everything else. But I feel like something like God of War is, and like Spider-Man is even more, is like more top of the line. So Until Dawn's gonna have to go. Boy. Oh man. I'm just what do you do with this list? It's just too damn good. Nathan Drake collection, like how do you take that off the list? I have the Naughty Dog games. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I think The Last of Us Part 2 is better. Still. We'll have one Naughty Dog game on the list. That hurts. That really hurts. Oh man. GT Sports. I think I have to take GT Sport off the list because the only way I've ever had fun in Gran Turismo is in VR. I don't think it counts. I had a lot of fun streaming it though that night. My God, it was awesome. Like I'm in the car. I'm in VR. I'm in the car. I'm using the steering wheel and pedals. It was awesome. I don't think it's going to be top 5 overall though because you have to have VR on. And also steering wheel and pedal, like holy, you put the wheel and the pedal on that game and it makes it like it's just a different experience. It handles so much better. I think Spider-Man stays. I think Days Gone stays because I've always wanted a biker game, and my God, they gave me a biker game. Even if it is like zombie apocalypse, like Walking Dead type of thing. It was a damn bikers game. What? So those two are like solid. Last of Us Part 2 it blew my mind. You know something that's missing? Firewall 0 Hour is like, I am. How do you cut these? Like, this is why. This is the reason why I changed our PS4 as my top thing. I'm like thinking like, okay, Ghost of Tsushima. It has solid story. I didn't exactly like the whole thing. Here's what I'd flip out Ghost of Tsushima for. What how do you take that off the list? But then you have God of War, and God of War was just, it was like these two are like perfect. This one is like perfect. That one is not so perfect. It was definitely ahead of its time because the hardware would slow down so badly. But damn it, I just want to play it on the PS5. This is hard, man. This is hard. So what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd have to take 2 off the list. 2. Firewall 0 Hour blows your mind because it's a VR game and it's actually like competitive shooter online. It's never been done before. Not that I've ever seen. How do you, and I mean, I haven't played a lot of it though, so maybe the servers have gone bad or something. It's a first of its kind, and I hate to take it off the list, but I think there is a lot of microtransactions in it. Oh boy. All right. So now, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to take one game gets to one of these adventures. They're not games, man. They're adventures. They are adventures, man. You are living inside these worlds. You are living inside these worlds. What do you take off from one? What? How? My brain keeps going. My brain keeps going here. If I hit the right button, my brain keeps going here. The reason why I think this is the one is because Kojima actually literally said that he had the PC in mind to make this game, but he just couldn't get it done on PC. So PlayStation stepped up and they really helped with it. But there was multiple PlayStation studios that helped make it. Man, this is hard. Hold on. Is this game technically a PS5 game now? I mean, it was one of the best games on a technicality. I'm going to say Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 is now technically a next-gen game. I'm using a loophole. There we go. Top 5. Top 5, both systems. Technically, Spider-Man is going to remake, and it's going to be technically a PS5 game. So there's my top 5 for both Xbox and PS4. Hold up. Wait. Whoa. Hold the phone. Hold on. One of these games is an imposter. So, it just, while I was editing this, I just dawned in my brain that I totally missed one game that has to go into the list. That is, I mean, it's on everybody's list. You kind of cannot get around this game. Also, Bloodborne. So, what gets swapped out for Bloodborne? What gets swapped out for Bloodborne? I mean, what gets swapped out for Bloodborne? This is where it becomes so hard once again. After seeing Death Stranding on PC and seeing just how much more it can be, even though it did do something that no other game has done before with the Stranding gameplay, of connecting players together to create a connection in the world, and as like, seriously, how can you? I mean, the game should not be fun. It is fun, but I've seen it running on PC, and versus the PC versus the PS4 version of the game, I'm going to have to do this because Bloodborne is not on the PC. Here is a more up to date list. I think this is probably the final version of this top 5 list. For the past almost roughly 10 years. I mean, a lot of good hours, a lot of good stuff. I think Xbox One kind of, it's been hit or miss, really. Overall, for the longest time, it's really been hit or miss whether they have like a really good title or not. So, one thing that's really opened my eyes is that PS4 has been doing. They've actually been kind of winning the console war in a sense, way longer. They have. They had like this handful of games at launch, and then they just relied on like, okay, we're just going to milk these series out. I'm not saying PlayStation doesn't do it. Final Fantasy VII is going to be milked out, of course, also. But at the same time, I mean, look at this. Days Gone. We've never had a biker game before. I mean, it's literally, you're part of an MC and you're riding around on a motorcycle the whole damn time. Is built to be a biker. It's not like GTA where it's like biker, car, plane, boat, yacht. No, you are a biker in the zombie apocalypse, and this is like your code is your MC code and everything. So that was like something that was like, holy shit, we're actually getting that. Last of Us Part 2 is just like, there's a reason why it's so controversial because it's written so damn well. It just gets people just 100% just talking and expressing, voicing their opinions. It's all about perspective, and really, it's one of the few games that has opened my eyes to like, you gotta look at, it just, well, not open my eyes, but it just reminded me that there's multiple perspectives in this world, and you really gotta look at both sides of the story, because sometimes we get locked into like, we know what we know, and we're not seeing it from the other person's side of things. And that's what a huge thing that Last of Us Part 2 really drives home on that. And then Final Fantasy Remake. What does it all mean? That the ending, how it was. They took something that was nostalgia, they made it brand new while keeping, the core elements of it, and then also making a brand new action, kind of like action RTS system and everything, like the gameplay to the graphics to the storytelling and everything. Perfect. God of War. Reinvented the series while keeping the core aspect of everything and upgrading it to something that's on the next level. Again, like Gears feels like it's like on the next level. It feels like almost like a next gen title, but it doesn't reinvent itself. Not really. It's still a cover based shooter. You're still going through a linear adventure. You're still doing the exact same stuff with the exact same characters that have been around forever, which are really cool characters that we do know and love and everything. It's just you're doing kind of the same thing as what you were doing in Gears 1. It's just on a grander scale with better graphics. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Quantum Break, that was definitely something different where you had, that's probably the biggest different one out of them all, is just this whole thing of having having the TV show mixed in with the gameplay and everything. So anyways, this video is going on for a while. So top 5, Xbox One, PS4, this last console generation. Yeah, one hell of a list. Just so many adventures. So many great titles, so many hours of just exploring and figuring stuff out and mind-blowing events and everything. Just, this is what makes gaming so great overall. And like I said, I hate that I'm gonna have another video about the word gaming and how I think it's kind of like it's kind of an outdated term. We like gaming is so outdated. These are not games. Like games are like Pac-Man and Mario and Donkey Kong and shit. Uh, they're not games anymore. They're worlds. They're adventures. They're virtual realities. You know, virtual reality and VR. But there's so much more than just games. We talk to each other. We hang out in them. You can live across the world and still talk with people and everything in them. So I think gaming and games is kind of like an outdated term. So anyways, thanks for tuning in on this one. You can find me over on Twitch at Werewolf, Twitch TV/Werewolf. Definitely hit that sub button if you liked any of this video, and hit that bell and all that stuff. And I don't know, top 5 list down in the comments if you want to. It's whatever. But yeah, that's my top 5 list for each console. This was definitely I definitely realized some stuff making this video that I was not prepared or aware I was going to realize. So it was cool. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I'll see ya next time.